Hey everyone, welcome back. Tonight, let's go somewhere warm, somewhere ancient and quiet, where time slows to the rhythm of dripping water and soft footsteps on marble. You've had a long day, so let's leave it behind. Close your eyes if you'd like, and imagine the faint hum of a city that hasn't existed for nearly 2,000 years. Rome, just after sunset. The air is thick with summer heat, and the last light of the day clings to the tiled roofs. A vendor's voice fades in the distance. A cartwheel grinds softly against stone, and from somewhere far off you can hear the river moving. Slow, steady, patient. You walk along the narrow street, past walls that breathe out warmth gathered all day from the sun. Oil lamps flicker in their niches. The smell of baked bread still lingers from the evening meal, mixed with smoke and the faint perfume of crushed herbs underfoot. There's no rush here. The city of marble has learned to breathe in long, even cycles, the pulse of commerce by day, and this now, the hush of nightfall, when Romans trade conversation for reflection, and labour for water, and noise for the quiet luxury of the bath. Up ahead, you see it. The Thermae, its arches golden with lamplight, its doors open to the drifting night air. You can almost feel the temperature shift. The cool stone outside, and beyond that doorway, a slow wave of warmth, scented with oil and steam. The sound greets you first, the low murmur of voices, the clink of metal cups, and the deep rhythmic sigh of the hippocaust. Fires burning somewhere below, pushing hot air through the belly of the building, feeding the quiet heartbeat of Rome at rest. So, come in. Tonight we'll leave behind the world we know and step into one built on ritual, warmth, and water. A night in a Roman bathhouse, where every echo tells a story, and every breath feels like a small act of remembrance. The night begins its slow descent over the city. Shadows stretch long between the pillars, and the last crimson edge of sunlight slides off the rooftops, leaving behind a soft bronze glow on the walls of Rome. The streets are not empty, but they have grown gentler. Merchants close their stalls, tying down their canopies with practiced ease. Children chase one another across the cobblestones, their laughter fading into the alleys like echoes of daylight. A dog barks once, and then the city exhales. You walk along the via, your sandals whispering over the stone. The air still carries the weight of heat, but a breeze has begun to move, faint, carrying with it the mingled scent of olive oil, wine, and something earthy from the nearby hills. A woman passes by, a basket of figs balanced carefully against her hip. An old man sweeps the step in front of his insula, the brush of straw against stone marking the rhythm of his evening. He nods to you as you pass, a small gesture of the hour's quiet companionship. You can hear music now, faint and distant. A few notes from a lyre plucked gently from some upper window. The melody drifts like incense, neither cheerful nor sad, just another fragment of the city's heartbeat. Above you, the night deepens. Oil lamps begin to bloom one by one, their light trembling behind thin sheets of glass. Shadows dance on the walls, and the soft chatter of conversation spills out from courtyards and open doors. The Romans, even now, cling to the warmth of company before they sleep. You turn a corner and the ground opens into a small square. A fountain murmurs at its centre, water trickling over worn stone into a shallow basin. Someone has left garlands of rosemary there, floating in slow circles on the surface. The smell is sharp and sweet. Beyond the fountain you can see the columns of the bathhouse rising against the sky. Even in the dimness the marble seems to glow, pale like the inside of a seashell. A man in a short tunic walks ahead of you, a towel slung over his shoulder. His posture is relaxed. He knows the way. You follow the gentle curve of the road with him, the stones warm beneath your feet, the air thicker with every step. You pass a stall selling oil, small clay jars stacked neatly in rows, each marked with a different scent. rose, sage, myrrh, and plain olive for the modest. The vendor sits half asleep on his stool, the lamplight turning his face into soft shadow. A little farther on, you reach the great bronze doors of the thermae. They stand open, breathing out a wave of air that smells of cedar, steam, and faint salt. Somewhere deep inside, water laps gently against stone. You pause for a moment at the threshold, letting the sound wash over you. The man ahead of you nods to the attendant, a young boy, drowsy from the heat, and disappears into the amber glow beyond. You take one last breath of the outside air. The city behind you hums like a lullaby, its noise softened by distance and dusk. Before you, warmth, quiet, reflection. A place where even emperors and labourers breathe the same mist and forget the world for a while. You step forward, and as the doors close gently behind you, the hum of Rome fades, leaving only the pulse of water and the calm rhythm of your own heartbeat. The Romans, even now, cling to the warmth of company before they sleep. But here, at the threshold of the thermae, a different kind of company awaits, one of steam and ritual and the quiet merging of many lives into one shared rhythm. Inside, the air thickens at once. It's warmer, gentler, a heat that doesn't scorch but embraces. The light is soft, amber and low, sliding over mosaics that shimmer underfoot like captured sunlight. This is the apoditerium, the changing room, a place of transition, both physical and unspoken. Here, the citizens of Rome shed not just their clothes, but the dust of the day, the noise of commerce, the small anxieties that cling to skin like grime. You move slowly through the chamber, your footsteps muted by smooth marble. Along the walls, niches carved in perfect symmetry hold clay lamps, each flame dancing gently, mirrored by tiny chips of glass embedded in the wall. The air hums with the faint scent of olive oil and beeswax, and somewhere, far off, the sound of trickling water keeps time. Men of every station fill the room. A senator's son, a baker with flour still under his nails, a soldier whose bronze belt gleams even in the dim light. They nod to one another, not as strangers, but as participants in a shared, wordless ceremony. You find an empty bench. The marble is cool beneath your fingers. A young attendant, hardly older than 16, approaches with quiet politeness. He offers you a small wooden tray. On it, a folded towel and a small pot of scented oil. Rosemary, perhaps, or thyme. He bows slightly, then slips away without a sound. You unfasten your tunic, feeling the fabric slide away like the day itself peeling from your shoulders. The air against your skin is warm and fragrant, and for a moment you stand still, listening to the murmur of conversation, the rustle of cloth, the low hum of comfort that fills the space like a lullaby. Two older men nearby speak softly. Their words are slow, deliberate. The politics of the forum turned into a gentle echo here, stripped of its urgency by the bath's calming air. Another man laughs quietly at something unspoken, the sound rounded, free of sharpness. You notice the walls, covered in mosaic scenes of gods at rest. Apollo reclines with his lyre, Venus gazes into a mirror held by a smiling nymph. Even the divine, it seems, need their moments of stillness. A basin of cool water sits in the corner. You dip your hands in, the chill surprising at first, then soothing. Droplets glisten on your skin as you wipe your face, a small gesture that feels older than words. When you're ready, you follow the others toward the next doorway. A warm breeze greets you there, heavier now, scented with wet stone and cedar. Through the arch, the tepidarium glows like the inside of a lantern. It is there, in that room of gentle heat and echoing calm, that the night will truly begin. Through the arch, the tepidarium glows like the inside of a lantern. The light is diffuse, amber through steam, and the air carries the softness of water that has never quite boiled. Every sound is wrapped in mist, the faint ripple of a basin being stirred, the hush of voices subdued by warmth, the sigh of the room itself, breathing. You step inside, and the heat folds over you. It is not sudden nor sharp, but like being draped in a blanket left near a hearth. The scent here is different, less of oil and wax, more of stone and vapour. It smells ancient somehow, like the walls remember every breath that has passed through them. The room is circular, its ceiling curved like the inside of a great shell. Tiny glass tiles set high above catch the lamplight and scatter it in muted stars across the dome. The water glows faintly from below, fed by pipes that carry warmth from deep beneath the floors. You sit at the edge of a shallow pool, the marble smooth beneath your palms. The heat seeps into your hands, your wrists, and slowly into your thoughts. There is no urgency here. The body learns to slow down first, and then, if you let it, the mind follows. Around you, people murmur in low tones. A man recounts a dream he had, something about sailing on an endless sea. Another listens, smiling faintly, eyes half closed. Nearby a woman hums under her breath, the sound rising and falling with the rhythm of dripping water. The attendants move quietly among the bathers. They carry small amphorae of oil, pouring a few drops into open hands, pressing the warmth into shoulders and arms with slow circular motions. You can hear the soft sound of skin meeting skin, the gentle exhale of contentment that follows. A mosaic of Neptune spans one wall, the god of the sea, his trident poised not in fury, but in calm dominion over the waves. His eyes seem to follow the movement of the steam, as though he too were a part of it, drifting, dissolving, never quite gone. Someone laughs softly, not the kind of laugh that breaks a silence, but one that joins it, rippling outward like a small wave. The room accepts it, holds it, and lets it fade. You close your eyes. For a moment you can hear your own heartbeat mingling with the rhythm of the pipes below. It feels like the whole building is alive, an organism made of heat and stone, breathing slowly, endlessly. Time stretches here. Minutes blur into something else. Not quite hours, not quite moments, just the steady flow of existing. When you finally open your eyes again, the mist has thickened. Shapes move softly through it. Shadows of people, their outlines melting into one another. It's easy to believe that this could be a dream, or perhaps a memory, echoing through the centuries. Somewhere, a bell rings once, not sharp, but resonant, a sound that rolls through the chambers like a tide. It's a signal, gentle but certain. Time to move onward, to the caldarium, where the air grows hotter and thought itself begins to drift like steam. The doorway to the caldarium is low and the heat that seeps from it is alive, a slow, constant breath that curls against your skin. As you step through, it feels as though the air itself thickens, turning tangible, weighty, almost liquid. Inside, the light is dim, filtered through mist so dense that it softens every edge. The sound of dripping water echoes like a heartbeat. Somewhere a copper basin hisses as a drop falls onto its heated surface, the steam coiling upward in a brief, silver thread. This is the heart of the bathhouse, the caldarium where warmth becomes presence. The ceiling soars above you, its curve lost to haze. Faint outlines of carved figures shimmer through the fog, half-seen gods and spirits etched into the dome as if suspended in the clouds themselves. A vast pool fills the centre of the room, its surface shimmering gold from the oil that floats upon it. Bathers move slowly through the heat, bodies blurred, faces softened by vapour. You hear only breathing, the quiet splash of movement, the distant murmur of pipes carrying flame-fed air through the stone below. You sit on the steps of the pool. The water laps at your calves, hot enough to startle at first, then soothing as the skin adjusts. It seeps into you, not just the warmth, but the silence that comes with it. Every exhale feels heavier, more deliberate, like the body learning again what it means to rest. The attendants glide silently among the bathers, carrying ladles of water mixed with scented oil. They pour it onto shoulders, onto hair, onto the open palms of those who seek relief from the weight of their day. A few words are whispered in gratitude, but most of the exchanges happen wordlessly. A meeting of eyes, a nod, a shared sigh. You lean back against the warm marble. The stone vibrates faintly with the fire below, the rhythm steady and slow. Above, the ceiling catches that faint vibration too, and for a moment you could almost believe the whole bathhouse breathes with you. The mist thickens again. Shapes dissolve into light. Voices become texture, the rhythm of a dream. Your thoughts begin to wander. You imagine all who have passed through here, the emperors, the merchants, the nameless ones who sought nothing but an hour of calm. Their laughter, their words, their quiet sighs still hang in the air like scent on warm fabric. The bathhouse remembers them all. At the far end of the pool, a man stands motionless, his figure half veiled by steam. He might be a statue, or a ghost of memory. He raises a ladle, pours water over his shoulders, and the motion becomes ritual, ancient, slow, eternal. You close your eyes again, feeling your heartbeat echo in your ears. The heat erases the border between yourself and the air. Everything, breath, stone, and steam, becomes one rhythm. When you open your eyes, a thin doorway stands open on the opposite side, and a faint coolness drifts in from beyond. The air there smells fresher, sharper, a promise of renewal. The frigidarium awaits. You rise slowly, water cascading from your skin in thin, glistening streams. The attendants bow as you pass, and the door closes behind you with a soft sigh. You rise slowly, water cascading from your skin in thin, glistening streams. The air cools as you move closer to the next chamber, a faint chill threading through the mist like a whisper from another world. Your body hums with heat. Each step forward feels like walking through layers of air, from dream into clarity. The frigidarium is still. The moment you step inside, the change is almost shocking. The air crisp, dry, carrying the faint scent of limestone and clean water. The noise of the caldarium fades behind you, and a profound quiet takes its place. The room is lined with pale marble, its veins soft as smoke. Small alcoves curve into the walls, each holding a statue. River gods, reclining with vessels tipped, their stone water forever frozen mid-pour. Light gathers in pools on the floor, reflected from the basin at the centre, a circular bath of water so clear it seems almost invisible. You approach slowly, each breath drawing in the chill until it touches the lungs, cooling the warmth that lingers on your skin. The surface of the pool trembles slightly, a ripple passing across it from some unseen current below. You lower yourself into the water. The first touch steals your breath. Cold, sharp, pure. Then, as your body adjusts, it settles into something deeper. Not discomfort, but renewal. The sensation travels through you like light through glass, washing away the heaviness of heat, the residue of thought. For a few moments you drift. The world feels weightless, as though every sound and colour has thinned into simplicity. The ceiling above is patterned with tiny squares of mosaic, sky blue and white, like fragments of daylight captured in the stone. Drops fall from the archway into the pool, each one sending out ripples that reach your fingertips. Around you, others enter in silence. Their movements are deliberate, each gesture unhurried, as though all are bound to the same rhythm, the rhythm of water and breath. Someone exhales softly nearby, the sound almost like prayer. The cold does not stay biting for long. It becomes a pulse, a reminder of the boundary between the body and the air, the mind and its rest. You can feel your heartbeat, steady and slow, meeting the pulse of the room itself. Two rhythms merging until you cannot tell where one ends and the other begins. When you rise, droplets cling to your skin like glass beads. The air kisses them away, leaving behind a sensation of lightness, as if gravity has less hold here. A doorway stands open across the chamber, leading to a courtyard faintly lit by stars. The night air beckons, cool, fragrant, alive. The Thermie's long journey of warmth and water has brought you to this moment of stillness, this breath before rejoining the world beyond the walls. You pause once more at the edge of the water and watch your reflection dissolve in the gentle tremor of the pool. Then, with a quiet sigh, you turn toward the courtyard, where the murmur of night and the scent of cypress await. You pause once more at the edge of the water and watch your reflection dissolve in the gentle tremor of the pool. Then, with a quiet sigh, you turn toward the courtyard. The doorway opens into cool night air. It drifts across your skin, carrying the scent of cypress and the faint sweetness of crushed laurel leaves. The sudden openness feels vast after the womb-like chambers within. You breathe deeply, and the air feels new, as if the world beyond the baths has been waiting, still and patient, for your return. The courtyard is simple, paved with marble worn smooth by countless feet. Low walls encircle a central garden, where small oil lamps glow among the hedges, their light trembling like stars scattered across the earth. At the far side, a fountain murmurs, its voice soft and continuous, like the sea dreaming of its shores. People sit along the edges, some alone, heads bowed, others speaking in low tones over cups of wine. Laughter rises now and then, not loud, but easy, the kind that ripples rather than breaks the calm. The sound mingles with the gentle hiss of the fountain, the rustle of leaves, the quiet clink of pottery against stone. An attendant offers you a small clay cup, its rim warm from the hand that carried it. Inside, the wine is cool, tinged with honey and a trace of mint. You sip slowly. The flavour is soft, its sweetness lingering just long enough to remind you of the day that has finally released its hold. Beyond the walls, the city breathes. A faint hum of voices, the whisper of a cart's wheel on distant stone. But here, time has no edge. The night stretches open like silk, and even the stars seem to move slower, their light steady and sure above the rooftops. You watch a group of bathers seated near the fountain. One gestures lazily with his cup, telling a story in a voice too soft to reach you. The others smile, eyes half-lidded, as if they have heard it many times before. Their movements are unhurried, anchored by the rhythm of the night itself. Somewhere nearby, a woman sings under her breath. Not a song of performance, but one of habit, a melody she might have learned as a child. The notes hang in the air for a moment, then fade into the murmuring water. You look upward. The moon hangs low, its light spilling across the marble like milk. A breeze stirs the olive trees at the edge of the courtyard, their silver leaves flashing briefly in the glow. You think of the fires still burning beneath the baths, feeding warmth to the rooms you've left behind, a secret heartbeat pulsing under the earth. Someone sets a lamp beside you. Its flame wavers, then steadies, casting a soft halo around your cup and your hands. The heat of the day is gone now, replaced by that perfect balance between cool air and the warmth that lingers within. For a while, you simply sit. The night deepens, the voices grow fewer, and the fountain keeps its endless song. It feels as though the world has been reduced to these few things: water, stone, light, and breath. When at last you rise, the lamps burn lower, and the sky has begun to pale faintly toward dawn. The path that leads back toward the entrance waits, quiet, still warm beneath your feet. The bathhouse has given what it could. Not transformation, but calm, not revelation, but rest. You take one final look at the courtyard, the fading lamps, the still fountain, the first bird stirring in the trees, and then you turn toward the gate, carrying the hush of this night with you like steam that clings to the skin long after the water is gone. The bathhouse lies quiet now. Its echoes have softened to whispers, its warmth dimmed to memory. You step through the outer doors once more, and Rome greets you with the first breath of morning. The sky above is the colour of pale stone, washed with the faintest traces of rose. A single star still lingers near the horizon, fading slowly as light gathers in the east. The streets are nearly empty. Only a few early risers move through the mist, their silhouettes long and silver in the new sun. The city feels different now, not louder, not yet awake, but aware. You can hear the first cartwheels striking the cobblestones, the soft murmur of someone sweeping their threshold. the rustle of pigeons stirring beneath the eaves, life returning slow and certain. Your body still holds the warmth of the thermi, the memory of water and stone. Each breath feels easy, as though the air itself has thinned, made lighter by what you've left behind. You walk slowly, savouring the texture of the street beneath your sandals, the quiet rhythm of a city exhaling into day. A baker opens his shop door, and the scent of rising bread spills into the street. Yeast and ash and something sweet. He glances up at you, nods in greeting, then returns to his work. The gesture feels older than words. Somewhere nearby, a temple bell rings once. Its sound rolls softly through the alleys, touching everything. The rooftops, the fountains, the slow curl of smoke from a brazier. You pause, letting the resonance settle in your chest, feeling it blend with your own heartbeat. You think of the bathhouse behind you, its domes, its fire-fed air, the hundreds of voices that for a few hours became one. All of it will happen again tonight, and tomorrow, and long after your footsteps have faded. That is the quiet magic of this place. Its devotion to repetition, to the steady pulse of being. You turn down a narrow lane lined with olive trees. Their leaves shimmer faintly in the new light, casting moving shadows across the wall. A breeze slips through, carrying the cool scent of dew and dust and promise. At the end of the lane, the Tiber glows faintly gold. Its surface is smooth, the current slow and sure. You stand for a moment, watching the water drift beneath the bridges and the reflection of the awakening city ripple and reform. In that stillness you realize the night has not ended. It has only changed shape, folded itself into the rhythm of the day. The calm you carry is not something borrowed, but something returned. You breathe once more, deep and unhurried, and then, with the sun touching the rooftops, you walk on, into the living city, quiet, refreshed, whole. And so, the night slips quietly away, not in haste, but in grace. The warmth of the bathhouse fades into the hum of the waking city, and the echo of water against stone becomes only a memory, soft and certain as breath. Perhaps that's the secret Rome has always known, that rest is not escape, but a rhythm, woven through the pulse of life itself. The same fires that heated the baths will burn again tonight. The same marble will glow under lamplight, and in some distant corner of the city, another weary soul will step into the mist, seeking what you found here. Not answers, but ease. If you close your eyes, you can still feel it. The weight of the air, the curve of the mosaic floor beneath your feet, the quiet murmur of strangers who no longer seem strange at all. Their voices fade, but their calm remains. And as you drift now, whether into thought or into sleep, remember, the world has always held these small sanctuaries, where warmth and water, light and silence, gather for a moment to remind us how to breathe. Good night, traveller. May your dreams carry the scent of cedar and the sound of running water. May you wake as the Romans did, renewed, unhurried, and whole once more. Thank you for joining me tonight, for stepping quietly into the steam and stillness of another world. If this story helped you unwind, if it carried you through a gentle moment of calm, I'm glad you found your way here. History doesn't always have to be grand or loud. Sometimes it lives in the quiet corners, in the echo of water against marble, in the rhythm of a city long asleep. And sometimes that's all we need to remember, that people have always searched for peace, just as we do now. If you'd like to drift through more forgotten evenings, through the small and human moments of the past, you can stay a while. There are many more stories waiting, soft, slow and timeless. Until next time, sleep well, dream deeply, and may the world of history watch gently over your rest. Good night.